everybody, welcome back to Drawing with Paolo. Today we're going to be drawing a wolf, another special request, and so this is where the wolf's head's going to be. Then from here we need to draw its neckline, sort of like this, a cylinder shape, like that. And then from here we're going to be able to draw a bit more of his head, so the snout. And this wolf is going to be howling, so because it's a howling wolf, we'll have him have his open mouth like this. Put his ear over here, just like that. And then we can attach to this a little bit more of a thicker neckline and his back line, down to his chest line, just like this. Just really loose shapes. And then we'll pull down a paw up here, or a leg. And this will be like a Canadian wolf, and it'll be in the forest, on top of snow. So here's the second leg, and the back leg, and a little bit of hair for the back leg. All right, now all of these lines here, these things, and one up here too, and this by the ear, we can get rid of all that stuff. Boom, gone. So now let's work on the head, and we're going to work our way down, and the point here is to make sure that we don't smudge our drawing as we go along. So we're going to start with the eyelid, just like this, because as he's howling, his eyes are closed. And we'll put the thickness to his ear next, which will be black. The contour of his ear will be black. The inside will be a dark gray. A little bit of hair. There's a little separator line in there. Just like that. And then the top of his head is darker, so this is the line that within which we will color a darker shade. And then let's add his nose. So he's got a little bit of a snout coming up here. We got his nose over here with going down and attaching to his lips, sort of like a V shape, and then to the bottom lip and to the chin. And comes up to the forehead, a little bit of hair. All right, and we can add the thickness to his front lip here. So this stuff will be black. It'll link up to his nose, and there'll be a little bit of a nostril right there. And all this stuff will need to be black, so we're going to color all that stuff in. But the upper part of it, we'll keep that white, or like a light gray, so that looks like there's a little bit of a reflection coming off his nostril or his nose. All right, so let's put a bit of hair on this side here. And then we'll give him two teeth, canines. Well, these are probably not canines, they're at the bottom. But we'll color the inside of his mouth. Just like that, nice and black. And a bit of hairline here and there. Do the same thing. The bottom lip needs to be black as well. We'll color this stuff in, mash those shapes in together. These little dots represent where his whiskers would be. We'll finish off the top of the nose where we give it a little bit of a light gray pattern to his face. Color in the eyelid here a little bit better. Give that more definition, a little bit of a line at the bottom. Let's add more detail to the ear. Okay, so we need to color this a little bit darker. And then do the underside here, give that a bit more flaring hair. Nice hairline. And then we're going to give the face a little bit more of a definition, so to see where we need to color the rest of the body in. So from this point down, we're going to be drawing lots of hair. I'm not sure about these lines. I think they're a bit too long, right? But anyway, color this stuff in for a little bit. Add a few hairlines here like this. And we'll be using a few layers here on this wolf. So see this line? I need to retrace that a little bit. Just like that. Make that a bit darker. And this stuff here is too long, so we're going to erase that just a little bit. There we go. That looks a bit better. All right. So everything from this point down needs to be full of hair. So we're going to just keep pulling down some lines from here on all the way down. And we'll make that a nice hairy wolf. Let's make the inside of his mouth a bit darker. And we'll add a few more details here. Just make that a bit darker too. Color in the ear. Just like that. All right. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of a contour line here. What's fun about drawing these little hair strokes, which is press, pull, release with very light stroke. There's hardly any erasing to do because the hair sort of masks our foundation lines. So as you can see, as I'm going over my foundation line here, it doesn't really look like that there's any line underneath it that I need to erase. So it saves up a lot of time. All right, let's do this part. We're going to throw in longer strokes here, make it a nice thick hair. And we'll add multiple layers. So we'll put in a foundation layer, sort of like this, with crisscrossing lines. Make this a little bit darker here. And once I've passed a couple of times, I'll add a few more lines on top. It'll give the illusion of a nice thick coat of hair. And you can't do this all in one shot. You really have to do it in layers. And this is where patience, drawing practices your patience. And this is where patience becomes very important. And drawing practices a lot of stuff. And that's what, why drawing is so much fun, because it allows you to practice your drawing for sure. It allows to practice your patience. You might get frustrated, like I'm not really good at drawing animals, and you can probably tell from this wolf, but it takes some time, it takes practice, and at the first few times you draw wolves or leopards or hawks or whatever else, you're sort of like, yeah, that wasn't very good, but you have to keep at it, and then you get much better, and it practices all of those great techniques and skills that you need to have for drawing. It ends up being really fun. And remember, show your drawings off. You have to show them to people, show them to your friends and family, have them understand, hey, this is a drawing. What do you, give me some feedback. What do you think of it? And take it. Positive, negative, whatever. You need to understand that everybody's point of view is different. And so some will encourage you and say, wow, that's beautiful. And others will say, hey, that's really bad, man. And that's okay. And ask them, okay, what's bad about it? And then get on to the next drawing and make it better. But the worst critiques are ourselves, and that's for sure. The first time, you draw something, you hate that drawing, well, it's normal. But don't put the pencil down, don't put your stuff away, don't put your tools away. Get back, turn the page, draw another one. And don't always erase everything. I tend to see a lot of people, they draw something, they don't like it, they erase it. Keep it. You want to keep it as a reference for your next drawing, okay? So while I'm drawing this wolf, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't erase the whole page. I would change page, go to another page, and then redraw it, and use the first one as a reference to make something better. All right, so we're just adding more hair here as we go. And that's all we're going to be doing now for the next, 10 minutes or so. But we're going to do this logically, right? So I'm trying to think that all these lines here, we don't need those for the moment. So I'm trying to think that the light is coming from the top. And so there should be lighter strokes on the top of this wolf. And as we're working our way down, like on the underside of the wolf, that stuff needs to be really dark. I noticed that I'm trying to overlap the hairs so that it doesn't look like they're just individual lines of hair, sort of like this, right? So if I do this, and then I put another line next to it, it'll look like a zebra. So I don't want that. I need to keep drawing lines on top of lines, just like this. See, I'm overlapping. And it makes it look like hair and thickness of hair rather than just zebra lines or tiger lines going down this wolf. All right, we're gonna add his hind leg here. Make that a bit darker. This will be nice and black in here. Later on, we'll come back and we'll add more detail. We'll finish off the back part. A little bit of hair. And then all this stuff here, we can get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. And that back part isn't very dense with hair. The thickest part is around the neck. That seems to be the longest area. Neck and back is the longest set of hair. And this kind of wolf has a black pattern at the top of the back. This is this black pattern there that we're adding. And once again, we're just adding another layer on top of this. So it really looks like there's a nice thickness of hair there. Just like that. And I highly encourage you to have drawing parties. Have some friends over, have 2 or 3 friends, pull out the drawing pads and draw stuff together. There's things we used to do in high school a while ago is I would start a drawing and then hand it over to my friend, and he would hand me his drawing, and I would continue it. He would continue mine, and then we'd swap the books again, and then I'd continue the drawing that he had. I continued. These lines, get rid of those. We don't need those belly lines anymore. We'll trace them out in hair. And that makes it for a really cool game, and it's a great challenge to try to finish off somebody else's drawing. And you get to use your creativity a lot that way. So, get some friends together, get 2 or 3 people, I've never seen 10 people drawing all together, but hey, why not? And have a drawing party. Everybody whips out the pencils and the paper, and everybody draws, and you can hand over the drawings, and everybody draws each other's drawings, and that could be a lot of fun. It's very creative, it's very entertaining, and then you end up with lots of cool drawing. And you can have a nice gallery later on and expose those drawings to your friends and family. And show them how you've, tell them what you did. How cool it is to do these kinds of things, these drawings and whatnot. All right, underside part. The underside here has to be darker. And so we'll add some hairs here to the paw. Okay. There we go. And now we're just going to add a bit more definition to the hair here. So we're going to just keep going over and over certain spots, making the hair look a little bit thicker, a bit more detail, some darker areas, some lighter areas. Make a wrap so it looks like the body is rounded. A little bit darker here, towards the neck area. And I often pull my hand away because I'm looking at the drawing. If my hand is always in the way, well, I can't see an overall view of what I'm doing. So pull your hand away, take a look at what you're doing, and then go back to the area you want to fix up or add detail to. So for example, the snout here, I want to make it a little bit darker. As I pull my hand away, I can see what needs to be added to the drawing. And so I need to add shadowing here to the underside of the chin. Because if the light is coming from the top, then the bottom side here is a little bit darker. And here too, make that a bit more hair detail there. I don't want this totally white. We need to have a bit of definition in there. And a little more lines here to the back and side. Well, let's make it a little bit darker here underneath the belly. Pulling some lines there, hiding some of that white area. Like that. Making it darker here on the far left. And here we're going to push strokes in the other direction so it looks like the hairs are longer. And color this nice and dark here. Alright, so there can be a tree line. So let's add the background. We're going to add a few tree lines here. So I'm going to draw a Canadian forest, and we have a lot of different kinds of trees, maple trees and birch trees. And these on the left side will be birch. These will be, my God knows, what, something else. just vertical lines here. Diagonal, straight. You just, nature grows in all kinds of directions. So that's what you want to do with the back here. And you want to draw lighter lines than the wolf. You want the wolf to stand out. So if you were to draw really dark lines, then the wolf would sort of get lost within the background. All right, so now we're going to color here the left side of the tree, but not to smudge my wolf. I'm going to put a little piece of paper on top of my wolf, which will protect the motion of my hand, or protect the wolf from the motion of my hand. I'll color down the left side here, and this one too. Bring down that sheet of paper, and then we're going to add a few birch elements to this tree. So, you know, they have dark spots a little bit everywhere. So like this, we're going to speed that up a little bit. You get the basic idea. When I do the second one, it's just going to be a little bit faster. Remember, you can pause these videos at any time, rewind them, rewatch them, take the time you need to draw these things, and have fun. You know, that's the point of drawing, is having fun and practicing your imagination and your creativity, and that's why we draw. And don't forget, if you like my drawing videos, click on the green thumb. That will encourage people to come and watch my videos as well. And I really appreciate all of you guys watching from the UK and Scotland and Australia and Canada, of course, and the US. I really appreciate you guys watching every week. Thank you very much. These videos are meant for you, and they're really just made so that I can pass my passion for drawing on to you guys and help you guys learn something or two, you know. All right. This tree is just like a detailed tree. I'm not sure what it is. We're just going to color it in, have lines there for detail and design. All right, same thing over here. A few lines up and down. The center part here has to be a little bit, the lines have to be a little farther apart, so it gives the illusion of roundness to the branch or the core of the tree, the trunk. All right. And this tree we're just going to color, these branches will color just the left side here. Pull lines all the way down. So we're adding just a little bit of different details here to the drawing, right? Different branches, different textures, gives some kind of coolness to the drawing, more detail and whatnot. Accelerate this a little bit so that you guys understand what you're doing. Anyway, and if you want to draw a different kind of tree, you can do so. I'm not going to put any evergreens in this one, but you can add evergreens if you wanted to. And now we're going to add a little bit of a snow line here. So this wolf is in the snow. That's why his hair's so thick. We need to get rid of all this stuff. And there we go. I'm going to add a few branches here. Branches that come out of the tree. If you would like to see a whole environment or like a landscape, check out my cemetery drawing. The cemetery drawing has a nice landscape which has trees and evergreens and whatnot. And I show you guys how to do that type of stuff in that video. Other animal drawings I have, the leopard, the hawk, and a dog and cat. You guys can check those out. Oh, and of course a few horses. People like horses apparently. Those requests were very popular. All right, a few branches, very loose drawing here in the background. Just to give a little bit of a wolf environment back here. There we go, very, very light lines. And then we'll add like a little bit of a mountain range back here. Just like that. I'm holding my pencil at the far end where the eraser is and just giving really light strokes here, barely touching the paper, going really loosely. That gives a really nice effect to our drawing. And that's that, guys. That's how you draw a wolf, a howling wolf. I hope for those of you out there that have asked for it, like it. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and see you in another episode of Drawing with Paolo.